Hey everyone, Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and in this video we're taking a look at the Raxium Axial Series 7-inch LED headlights with DRL turn signals, black housings, and clear lenses, fitting 2007 to 2018 JK Wranglers. Improve your visibility while giving your JK a unique style with these LED headlights from Raxium. Featuring cool modern styling, quality construction, and a great price, these are going to be a sweet upgrade to any Jeep. We see lots of aftermarket headlights around these parts, but these immediately stood out to me. And while the actual lighting elements are worth noting too, the look is what really sold it for me right out of the gate. To start, you get a black internal housing. And if you're blacking out your JK, this is going to be a great way to tie in that theme up front. They also, of course, feature that LED angel eye ring around the outer edge of the light, bringing in that modern, sleek look in a way that could almost be mistaken for factory. However, the coolest part, at least to my eye, is the way this design is sort of layered within the light. The inner housing is textured in a way that we don't see very often, and it makes the lighting elements really pop, especially with these crystal-looking elements on the outer edges here. Talking about it like this, and even photos don't really do it justice. It's a cool aesthetic, especially when you see it in person, and it helps modernize the front end of the JK in a way that not all aftermarket lights can. It's certainly a unique look, but I think it works really well with the overall styling. However, beauty is more than skin deep here, as the lighting elements also shine, pun intended. Now for starters, you get two big LED projectors in the center for your main and high beams. Output-wise, these are going to far outshine standard halogens. And being that they are projectors, that means the beam pattern is nice and wide with a sharp cutoff. The fact that they are LED powered also means a cooler light temperature, so it's going to be more of a white rather than yellow like your standard halogens, and you're going to get a lot more overall output. So whether you're on the street or the trail, these are going to decidedly enhance your visibility from behind the wheel. You also get these cool crystal look running lights on the outside, and while they don't necessarily serve a functional purpose, they sure do look the business. But the headliner here, of course, are those LED rings around the outside edges. Now these are going to light up a nice diffused white to function as your daytime running lights, but they also switch to amber when you activate your turn signals, functioning as turn signal repeaters. And you get all the necessary electronics and resistors included too, so there should be no issues with hyper flashing or flickering, making for an easy setup and one that you're not going to have to worry about once you've got it mounted up on your JK. Construction is also a highlight. The outer housings here are constructed from a black aluminum with integrated cooling fins to help keep everything secure and running at a proper temperature. Now up front, of course, you get your standard polycarbonate lenses over top of those black internal housings that we were talking about, plus all the LEDs inside. And since these are LEDs, they're going to have a nice long lifespan, and again, they're going to be quite bright. Everything here is weather sealed, of course, to keep out dirt and moisture and keep the electronics inside nice and safe. Plus, these are DOT and SAE approved, meaning that they are fully street legal. Pricing for this kit is going to come in at about $200, which makes these a very affordable option. Now JK headlights aren't super expensive, but I still think these are a good value, especially considering the style and the lighting output. And if you're a fan of the styling like I am, it's a really good price for everything that you're getting here. Now installation is going to get a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 2 hours to complete. Now while these are mostly plug and play, you are going to need to do a bit of wiring in order to get those daytime running lights working properly. However, everything you need to get the job done short of tools is included in the kit. It's really just a matter of running power and ground. And you've got these wires already set up and ready to go with spade connectors that are going to connect right to the back here. Plus you've even got quick Scotch lock connectors to make that wiring job just that much more simple. But enough of me talking about it, let's head on out to the shop and we'll walk you through that process now.
Tools required for this install include a clip remover tool, wire strippers and crimpers, a Phillips head screwdriver, some T-taps and male spade connectors, and a test light. What's up guys? Today we're installing a set of headlights on our Wrangler. First we're going to watch a quick uninstall video showing you how to remove your factory headlights, and then we'll meet you right back here for the install.
So this is a relatively easy install since there's only a few screws that hold these headlights in. However, we do need to remove our stock grille, so we're going to pop our hood open so we can access the plastic retainers that hold that in. So you're gonna have 6 of these plastic retainers across the top of your grill. They're really easy to remove. We're gonna use a flathead screwdriver to pop up the center and pull the whole thing out. So the top of the grill is free, however, the bottom of the grill is held in with a few metal clips. The way we're gonna remove that, we're just gonna tug out on that and that whole thing will disconnect. After we do that, we're gonna pull this grill away and we'll disconnect our lights. So we're gonna turn these till they unlock. Let those hang there. Do the same thing for the other side. Just turn these till they unlock and we'll pull this grill away. So the next step, we're gonna remove the 4 small screws that hold this chrome ring in here, which is holding our light in. We're gonna use a T15 Torx to remove those. One thing you wanna make sure you do is keep a hand on it while you're removing these screws because it will just fall out on you. So to unplug these, we're gonna press back on this red locking tab. Once that's all the way up, we can press down on our release and unplug our light.
Now before we install our new headlights, we're gonna have to get our wiring situated first. So I've got a couple male spade connectors that we're gonna crimp onto the end of our 2 wires. Now there's a bunch of different ways you can wire these up. What we have included in the kit is this quick connector. It has a pass-through hole that's gonna go over the wire on your daytime running light or blinker on the Jeep. And then you have the hole that's capped off that the end of your wire would go into. And then you take a pair of pliers, crimp down on this metal piece, and then close it up to make your connection. Now another alternative is using a T-tap. It has a little metal fork that's gonna go around either your daytime running light or turn signal wire on the Jeep. And then you'll close it up, it'll cut into that wire to make the connection, and then you can use a male spade connector to slide into the other side to make that connection. Now the wires on our Jeep have already been teed off with female spade connectors, which is why I'm going to be using a male spade connector on the end of these 2 wires. So we're going to use wire strippers to strip back some lead on our wire. And then we'll twist up that lead and make it nice and tight. Slide our male spade connector over it. And then take a pair of wire crimpers to crimp that down. And then we'll do that same thing for our other wire. Slide our connector on. Crimp it down. Make sure you have a good crimp. And then you can do that same thing for the other set of wires and we can get our headlights installed on the Jeep. So now we need to come down to our daytime running light / turn signal connector and figure out which wire is for the turn signal and which wire is for the daytime running light. So I've got a buddy in the driver's seat. I'm gonna ask him to turn on the daytime running light. And then I'm gonna take a test light here. I've got the one side hooked up to a bare metal bolt. And then we'll probe this connector to find out which one our daytime running light wire is. So on our center pin, we have it lighting up. So that's gonna be this white wire with the tan stripe that we have split off to a red wire here. And then you can turn daytime running lights off and turn the hazards on. So now we have our blinker on and we can go in and probe. And then we have our test light blinking here on the top pin, which is going to be this white wire with this pink stripe, which we have teed off into a yellow wire. So now you can shut everything off, and we can go ahead and get our wires that we just attached our male spade connectors to and connect those up and get our headlight installed. So now we can set up all of our wiring. We're going to start with this adapter harness. We've got the plug that's going to go into our factory connector. So press that in until we hear that click, and then press that red locking tab down. And then we have our CAN bus. So we're gonna take the 3-prong connector and connect that into the adapter harness. And then we'll take the 2 wires that we crimped our connectors onto. I'm gonna run our female spade connector up into the headlight bucket. And we're gonna connect our yellow wire, that's gonna be for our turn signal. And then we'll connect our red, that's gonna be for our daytime running light. So now I'm gonna clean up all of this excess wire. I'm just using the twist tie that this came with. So we'll bunch all of this up. We'll just leave a little bit there to connect to our headlight. And now we can grab our headlight. We have our 2 wires coming off the back. The yellow is going to be for the turn signal. The red's going to be for the daytime running light. So we'll just connect yellow to yellow and slide that sleeve over our connector. And then we'll do that same thing for the red. And then we're gonna plug this green plug into our CAN bus. And now we're just gonna tuck everything back into our headlight bucket and line our headlight up. And then we can get that metal bracket. And then we can reinstall all of our screws. And then you can repeat that same process on the other side. Now we can reinstall our grill. We're gonna connect our 2 connectors, 1 on each side for our DRLs and turn signals. We'll push that in until it clicks, and then push the red locking tab in. And then we can line up the tabs on the bottom and push our grill into place. Now we can come to the top of our grill and reinstall our 6 push clips. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Raxium Axial Series 7-inch LED headlights with DRL and turn signals with black housing and clear lens for your 2007 to 18 Jeep Wrangler JK. Thank you for watching, and for all things Wrangler, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.